As many Americans know, the end of the Civil War brought about the enforcement of the 14th Amendment, which pretty much ended slavery. Although slavery was ended in the US, there was another form of labor that would replace this: debt peonage. In case you don't know what debt peonage is, it's basically you paying off your debts with your labor. The point of the matter is that this type of system was very common among mining companies. As you could probably guess, many miners over time hated this system and tried to do something about it. In case you wondered why miners hated this system so much, is because the company script was only able to be used at the company store, which at this store prices were inflated 15 to 30%. Although this didn't correlate with wages, so miners eventually ran into debt. But good news, the company would still sell products to the miners on credit, and this credit could be paid off over time, but it never did, accruing so much debt that they could never afford to leave the mine. Somewhere in late August, some West Virginia miners decided they were going to do something about this corrupt system. One of their first plans was to free miners in Mingo County, West Virginia. These miners were imprisoned for resisting the martial law that had been put in place by the West Virginia mine wars. To do this, the miners would first have to go through Logan County, and the sheriff of this county, this being Don Chaffin. This county operated under the mine guard system. This is where mine operators / owners would hire guards to harass and prevent unionization among miners. The mining companies would also pay their workers in something called scrip, which was a company-issued currency that could only be used at the general store. So good luck trying to use it anywhere else. Anyway, on August 25th, 1921, 5,000 to 10,000 miners gathered 2 miles from the border of Logan County. Within the next 5 days, the miners had crossed the border and made it to the town of Blair, which they camped at. On August 29th, 1921, a group of a couple of miners went on patrol where they encountered some mine guards, which ultimately started the Battle of Blair Mountain. 4 deputies were taken prisoner during the skirmish. Over the next 2 days, both sides engaged in battle, where they used rifles and machine guns well entrenched. Don Chaffin even brought in a plane to bomb out the miners of their position. Some of these were gas bombs, and some were filled with gunpowder, nuts, and bolts, which basically makes them into frag grenades falling from the sky. On September 5th, the workers put down their arms. Why, you might ask? Because Uncle Sam is here! The federal government, led by President Harding, sent troops to deal with the situation. The miners reportedly backed down because they were fighting against the coal mining companies as well as the mine guard system and not the federal government. Despite a whole 16 people dying from the Battle of Blair Mountain, it pretty much didn't change anything. It would take much more time for the mine guard and the scrip system to be phased out of coal mining company policy. Despite this, the Battle of Blair Mountain lives on as the largest American armed uprising since the American Civil War.